All right, this is part 2. Just to be clear, if you are joining for the first time, this is a part 2 video. I did some of this and ran out of time on the last one. So if you need the link to part 1 to start this, it is in the description of the video. But I'm going to start halfway through. So I'm going to zoom over to where we were, and we were ready to write down your we-dos. So open up your math notebook. We're going to do some definitions and a simple one and an advanced one. So here we go. First, vertical angles are formed when two lines intersect. Got to know what they are. So make sure you write that definition down and draw yourself a set. And in this case, if you have color, that would help. I'm going to say these two are vertical angles in red. And you're going to get another set elsewhere on those. So those two also, those are also vertical in green. We would call those vertical angles. And the big thing to know about them, their measurements are always equal. So whatever this green one is, that green one is. Whatever this red one is, that red one is. That's how they work. And you can unpause when you're ready for the examples. So here's a simpler one. Two lines intersect, find the value of B and C. So you'll notice we have vertical angles here. If you want to write that down. Very straightforward set of vertical angles. So I'm going to use, I like to do this I know because language to solve these things. I think it's good for you to think about it that way because it kind of keeps your thoughts organized and make sure you know the reason for each of your moves. So for starters, I know B is 42 degrees. And I know that because it is vertical to the 42 degree angle. It doesn't have a name. So that's the first thing I know. B is very easy to find. If I know the 42 is vertical from it, then it's 42 as well, because vertical angles always have the same measurement. So that's the first one to know. And what about C? So C I can't use vertical angles to find, but I can use supplementary angles to find. You'll notice C and the 42 degree angle together make a straight angle. So I can say I know that C and the 42 are supplementary. I'll just write sup. Actually, I can even do better than that. I can do C plus 42 equals 180. How about that? That's, I think I even like better. C and 42 are 180 degrees together. And I know that because they are supplemental. I like that even better than the first thing I said. Supplemental angles. So now I'm really ready to find it. I just have to figure out what that C is. C has 42 being added to it, so I'll subtract 42. I'll just do that up here. 180 minus 42. And that's 8 and 13. So the last thing I know, C equals 138 degrees because 138 plus 42 is 180. So that's a simple one. I'm going to go close the door. Vacuum guy is here. Still there, but he's farther away. So that's a simple one. Let's look at one where you have to do a little more work. Let's, on this one, figure out angle B. So this is a couple more steps. If you want to go ahead and make this, I've actually got lots of vertical angles here. Go ahead and copy down the diagram and what's there, and then unpause. If you'll look here, we have tons of vertical angles here, right? These two are vertical, so they would match. These two are vertical, so they would match. And these two are vertical, so they would match. We actually have 3 sets of vertical angles here. 3 sets of vertical angles. Don't know if we'll need them all, but we've got them. So the question becomes, how do I get to this B? There's multiple routes to get here. You might be able to use this to find this to find this, or you might be able to use this to find this to find this. Lots of these problems are like puzzles, and they have different routes from the beginning to the end. So I don't want you to think whatever I pick is the route you have to necessarily follow. So here's something I noticed right off the bat. I think if I put these 3 together, they make a straight line. So they would be supplementary, all 3 of them, right? If I go from here to there, I've got it. So I know that I'm just going to call I'm going to give this one a name. I'm going to call this like angle A, since we have a B. So I know here that 80 plus 65 plus A is 180 because they are supplemental. Between the 3 of them, they make this straight line. So I can use that fact to figure out A. So that's going to tell me A is equal to what? I have to do 180 minus 80, that's 100, minus the other 65, that is 35. So I know A is 35 degrees because 80 plus 65 plus 35 equals 180. And now, last but not least, if I know A is 35, I know B, because A and B are vertical angles. So I know B also equals 35 degrees because A and B are vertical. So it's kind of like just like a puzzle to solve. Here's what I know, here's how I know it. And that means I know this, and here's how I know that, and that means I know this, and here's how I know. That wouldn't have been the only way you could have possibly done this. Like I said, there's other routes to it. You know, you might have been able to do something where you use this to figure out this to figure out this. I don't know. There's lots of ways to probably do it. Or you could have said, well, since I know that's 80, I know that's 80. And then I know those together are 180. There's lots of different routes to go, but that's the big idea. Now, this is a big thing. This is a big step, and it used a lot of learning from yesterday and a lot of vocab. If you need to go back and rewatch anything, please do. I promise it'll be worth your time. These take some time to get used to, but once you start to feel like you're confident in solving these puzzles, you're all set, and I'll see you tomorrow.